What if I told you that Marvel isn't just setting up one ultimate villain, but forcing two gods of inevitability into a collision that could wipe out everything we thought we knew? Imagine Kang's infinite timelines versus Dayu's. Doctor Doom's Ironwool destiny, who wins when time and fate duke it out, and what's left when both nearly break. We've seen pieces dropped in post-credit scenes, multiverse chaos, whispers of prophecy. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, we'll trace how Marvel could be building a war so big that even the Avengers might feel like spectators, not saviors. We know Marvel has teased us with Kang, the Conqueror of Time, variants across realities, his Council of Kangs gathering in Quantum Mania. We know he believes that with time as his weapon, history bends to his will. But what if there's someone else quietly stepping in, not bound by timeline hopping, but by controlling destiny itself? Someone who sees inevitability not as fractured possibilities, but as a singular rule. That someone could be Victor Von Doom. We've also seen Marvel shift gears. Originally Avengers, the Kang Dynasty was meant to be the next big threat, but now the movie is called Avengers, Doomsday, and Doctor Doom has been revealed as the primary antagonist. So Marvel is clearly changing the equation. It's not just Kang anymore. Doom is being built up, and when Doom rises, he could be the one who doesn't just control it all, he wants to rewrite what control means. So let's imagine how this could play out. Picture Act 1. The skies are already showing cracks. Kang is doing what he does best, spiraling timelines, manipulating events, gathering power. Maybe the Avengers think this is the threat. Maybe they even strike some wins. But there are strange anomalies, ripples in time that aren't from Kang, fixed points in reality where chaos should reign, and someone is engineering them. We might hear rumors of Latveria, of old magic, of science fused with mysticism, something beyond what Kang is expecting. Then, as we move into Act 2, that something becomes someone. Doom appears not with a bang but a whisper. Maybe an incursion Kang thought he caused gets stabilized. A Kang variant disappears under circumstances time-based tech can't explain. Reed Richards, Strange, maybe even Shang-Chi begin to see traces of reality being held in place, not collapsing. A stillness. Doom doesn't speak loudly at first. She acts, stealing tech, twisting incursions, engineering order from fractured timelines. While Kang's council tears itself apart, Doom rises without council because Doom believes order doesn't need variance, just singularity. And here comes the turning point. The Avengers finally realize they're not just fighting Kang. They're in a war between two inevitabilities. Kang with his army of selves dying and being reborn across infinite realities. Doom with his conviction that one ruler must rise. When Doom confronts Kang, he doesn't just fight him physically. He resists time, maybe locks Kang in moments, disrupts temporal currents with magic and science fused. Kang bleeds not because time broke, but because Doom refused to let time bend around him. You know what's funny? We'll probably celebrate thinking we struck a blow against Kang, then realize Doom set that up, stage managing everything. Because Doom doesn't just fight to defeat, he fights to rewrite the game. By the way, if you're loving this theory, hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Don't leave me talking about destiny alone here. We'll need your hype. Like and share so more of us can theorize together. Just imagine the multiverse of fan comments. Back to the path. Act 3 could escalate into that multiversal battlefield. Realities collapsing like dominoes. Kang's variants flooding in every direction. Doom, calm and unyielding, moving like a monolith through chaos, dismantling Kang's council one by one. The Avengers, torn between stopping Kang's ultimates and stopping Doom's absolutes, forced to choose. Can you beat time? We know Kang believes time is his ally. History bends under his will. For him, every fallen variant is just a reset, another path to conquer. But Doom, Victor Von Doom, sees inevitability differently. Not multiplicity, but singularity. He sees destiny as absolute, and unlike Kang who rages, Doom watches. And schemes, bides his time, builds from science fused with sorcery, searching for that moment when he alone stands as the end of all paths. So let's walk that path together. How Marvel might build Doom's rise through Kang's shadow, how the Avengers come to realize they are no longer just fighting one battle, but choosing whether to resist both inevitability and destiny. The story begins with questions that feel small, but begin to crack the foundation. Spider-Man, haunted by sacrifice, whispers the fear that many of us feel. What if we don't matter? What if the heroes, all the battles, the universe saving, they're just background noise in someone else's story? Under Thanos or Ultron, they had purpose, clear stakes. But against Kang and Doom, in a war where time and destiny themselves wage war, the Avengers are overwhelmed, bruised, doubting their own relevance. That fear becomes the heartbeat of the final act, not just, can they win? But do they have a place to win at all? While the skies above the multiverse are tearing, Strange in the ruins of mystic libraries and shards of Kang's ruined tech begins to piece something together. Strange is always feeling anomalies, loose threads in space-time, things that slip between the cracks of logic. Reed Richards, slowly drawn in, admits something he's hidden. Doom isn't just a rival, he's an obsession. Reed's life, Reed's discoveries, they've all been responded to by Doom's belief that destiny can be stolen. That someone like Reed can unveil other possibilities is exactly what Doom fears. Doom doesn't merely want control, he wants to erase all potential paths except the one he shapes himself. In Strange's study, among tomes that whisper of the Book of Vishanti, Strange discovers that Kang and Doom are mirrors, one embodying multiplicity, Kang, infinite timelines and variants, the other, Doom embodying singularity, the one reality, one outcome. Both want control, but control in different forms. The only way forward begins to emerge, not to ally with one, but to deny both. Because choosing between time manipulated by Kang or fate declared by Doom is a false dichotomy. The Avengers' real challenge becomes, can choice, free will, humanity itself break the loop of inevitability? Kang's response is brutal, spectacular, overwhelming. He unleashes everything he has, legions of variants from ancient empires, mechanized armies from centuries ahead, starfleets from realities where humanity conquered the cosmos. Time ripples become wars. Doom instead answers with inevitability. Not armies, not flooding the skies with soldiers, but with precision. Sorcery to reduce fleets to ash. Technology to collapse time streams into singular threads he alone controls. For all the vast numbers Kang sends out, Doom only needs one strike. For each timeline Kang spreads, Doom burns them into one hiss. Then Kang grows desperate. In his cornered fury, he unleashes a weapon he swore he would never use. A temporal implosion meant to collapse infinite universes into one core reality to reset everything in his image. It's a do or die move. But Doom is ready. He lets Kang fire, he lets the multiverse scream, and with his mastery, Doom bends the implosion back, reshapes it, proclaims himself the singular god of reality. Kang falls, screaming empire shattered, his council in chaos. Doom raises Kang's shattered crown mockery, prophecy fulfilled, and declares, Doom is inevitable. The Avengers are stunned. It's not just a loss, it's a revelation. They finally understand what many of us suspected. Kang was never the true endgame. He was the fire, the diversion, the one meant to distract. Doom was always there, lurking, shaping plans in the background, waiting to take the ashes and forge something new. And now that reality belongs to him, they look at one another exhausted, wounded. But knowing this, they can't match Doom's power. They are not gods, not conquerors, but they are heroes. And heroes fight not to rule, but to protect what is worth saving. Strange voices a dire plan. If the singularity Doom built from Kang's implosion can be bent, maybe it can be used against him. There is risk, untold risk, because tampering with power of that magnitude could unravel everything. But Sam steps forward, shield in hand, voice steady. They may not survive, but if they don't try, then everything else is already lost. Then the final stand. They storm Doom's citadel, a massive construct of sorcery and science-broken timelines forming its foundation. They navigate horrors, guardians made of arcane circuits, war machines twisted with magic, reality itself tested. Spider-Man cracks jokes, half to hide fear, half to lure courage. Shang-Chi channels the Ten Rings, using powers he doesn't always fully understand but grows into. Strange stretches his magic, threading in Reed's science. And Sam, carrying the legacy of Captain America, moves forward knowing the odds are impossibly against them. They reach Doom. He sits on a throne built from broken timelines, Kang's crown mocked back as artifice. Doom greets them not with wrath, but with a voice that sounds like calm thunder. He mocks their resistance as admirable but foolish, offers them mercy, an alliance, a chance to share in his new order. For a moment, the Avengers hesitate because the temptation is real. Peace, order, maybe safety without chaos. But not freedom. Doom's powers overwhelm. He mocks spells, tech, rings, he deconstructs fights as one would swat flies. But there's something he didn't account for. The refusal of our heroes to yield. The belief not in winning, but in right. Strange weaves Doom's singularity, not to follow it, but to fracture it. Reed amplifies that crack. Shang-Chi channels ring energy into the core. Spider-Man webs conduits that feed failing energies back into Doom's apparatus. Among them, becomes the pivot, throws himself into the heart of the storm, shield aloft, using everything they have to focus their energy. It doesn't obliterate Doom, it doesn't kill Destiny, but it fractures his hold. Reality wobbles. Doom screams not in defeat but in rage, his order slipping away. Multiverse splinters, threads of possibilities rush back. Doom is cast out, not dead, but banished. You cannot escape Doom, you have only delayed him. And then, silence falls. The Avengers stand amid the wreckage. Tangled, torn, scarred, but alive. Kang is gone. Doom is banished. The multiverse is not restored to perfect wholeness, but it lives. And in the quiet aftermath, the heroes realize something crucial. They did matter. Not because they could match the power of gods, but because they refused to surrender the one thing Doom and Kang could never fully conquer, their humanity, the messy, imperfect, stubborn belief that even small voices matter in loud storms. Strange warns them Doom will return, stronger, maybe with new designs. Reed promises that whenever he does, they'll be ready. Spider-Man wonders quietly what they paid to win. Sam carrying the shield reminds them all, as long as there is someone willing to fight for what's right, even when the odds say don't, we're not pawns, we're Avengers. The screen fades on a multiverse wounded but healing. Doom isn't defeated forever. Kang may still echo in broken timelines. But the story ends not in triumph or despair, but in reflection. In proof that when gods collide, what survives is not power, but choice. And that is the heart of Avengers Doomsday. A war of inevitability and destiny isn't about who wins, it's about what survives. Because sometimes, the smallest defiance becomes the spark that shapes reality. Because stories this big need a fandom bold enough to believe what could be just as much as what is. What survives? Maybe when the dust settles, Kang is defeated, or at least his threat is neutralized. But Doom doesn't disappear. He claims the throne of inevitability. And Marvel could use that moment to reset everything. Secret Wars might not just be a conclusion. It might be the necessary aftermath of Doom's victory or his exposure. Because Doom's rise could pave the way for a reboot, a new singular timeline, new stakes. We might meet a new Fantastic Four, new X-Men, new versions of heroes we thought were done. And the Avengers, what about them? They're not just pawns. Their humanity, their weaknesses, their choices could become the cracks in Doom's armor. Maybe the final twist is that inevitability can be broken by sacrifice, by love, by heroic will. Marvel has done that before, but this time, the war is not just over one universe, it's over all of time and destiny. So, if this theory is right, Avengers, Doomsday isn't just introducing Doom, it's paying off everything Marvel built with Kang, Loki, TVA, etc. It's taking us from Time Wars to Fate Wars. And when that final battle comes, it won't just be about who wins, it'll be about what reality we want to survive. If you're excited to see how this unfolds, because when the future is being rewritten, we all want front row seats. I believe Doom is being set up as the inevitable force, the true endgame. And Kang's role, while massive, is being used to build the stage. Doom walks in, claims the crown, but war doesn't end with that. It ends with what we, the Avengers, the audience, accept as real. Because, in stories like these, it's not always the power that decides, but the belief.